How do we fix these things? All right, it's going to take action, right? Because the brain is already broken a certain way. So we have to get to it through action. So you have a person in your life, guess what? You have to allow him to do the things that he's doing, right? These things will naturally take you out of that state of being masculine where you have to do everything for yourself. So you can get rid of this mindset. So if you see he's offering to take care of this situation, allow him to do that. If he's offering to, okay, there's a situation with your son and he wants to help you to resolve the situation, just step back and allow him to do it. He sees that, okay, half of your phone is broken, you cannot text properly. If he buys you a phone, accept it. So your body can be learning this, and then your body will automatically be teaching it to your brain. You cannot teach it to your brain through theory. You cannot tell yourself, say, oh, okay, I need to be feminine, and then boom, you become feminine. No. The things that he will be doing will be softening your masculinity. And this is how change, positive change, will come into your life, because he will be exercising the spirit of patience. This is something that takes time. It didn't take you 1 year or just one relationship to get to that state that you are at. Probably that is something that your mother was feeding to you from you were younger. The other people in the community was feeding that. Things you were seeing, things that you've experienced, moving from relationships to relationships. So it's going to take a period of time. This is why it takes the spirit of patience to put up with that. You being masculine, you lash out at things, you don't have a decent approach. You don't know how to talk to the man with respect. Sometimes in this situation, it's very hard to trust. And it's not about the person, but it's just that natural distrust that is developed in the brain. And through allowing, it will help us to trust again. Allow the person to prove himself. Allow the person to show who he really is and what he wants to do in your life, and to show the meaning that he is bringing to this relationship. You have to also learn to separate something that is perceived and something that is an actual experience. Because sometimes it's not easy to separate. You have to also be patient with yourself. You have to also have compassion on yourself. Going back into dating the real way is going to feel very foreign to you. It's going to make you want to give up, because that's not what you're accustomed to. You're accustomed to having your own way. You're accustomed to, being aggressive, to talk down, to usurp authority. You're going to need to try to raise your standard a bit, right? Because if you're with certain type of men that you have to be complaining about every time, but then when it comes to your desire or your need to be pleased sexually, you just go back to giving over yourself to that person, then how do you expect changes? It's just like you have a child. If the child gets an A in his test, you give him an Xbox. But if he gets an F, you still give him an Xbox. Where is the difference? What are you reinforcing? Right? So there are some internal changes that you have to make, and it will be easier for you when choosing who you be with, when choosing what you do with your body. Because you know when all of this is going to affect you, it is going to affect you when you start to have a real intimate relationship. And guess what? All those those type of relationships you were getting into when you were an independent woman, no, you're going to be shameful about those experiences. You're not going to want to tell this person. You're not going to want him to know this side of you. Because guess what? You can see that this man is truly different and he deserves the best. But then you're going to feel like you are not the best for this man. Because you know when a man deserves more. And this is why that shame causes you to hide that part of your life. You see, when you're going through that experience, it seems like, oh, so cool. I am me, I do whatever I want. But then when it comes to intimacy, because you were created for intimacy, Adam was alone, but he needed a helpmate. That's what we were created for. So don't let your unconscious or your darkness ruin everything that was set for you. Don't let it change the path of your destiny. You are still a beautiful soul. You're just veiled through the different experiences that you've been through. But you have to come back to the awareness of yourself and create the reality, shape the future that you want by taking control of the choices you make. The higher your standards are, the higher your moral principles are, the better decisions you make. No longer you will jump up because a thought pops up into your mind and then jump straight into making a decision. You now do what? You start to apply discernment. You weigh the matter in the scale and the balance, and based on, you can know what to do. This might bring you pleasure for this moment, but then it takes away so much of what you truly are. Then you know that you cannot do that. Then you don't have to compromise anymore. Shalom.